Welcome back, students, to lecture number 9 in this series. In this lecture, we are going to see the types of limit state of serviceability in cracking. So, cracking is also very one important point that we have to consider for the durability of structure, as we have seen previously also. So, as 456 specifies about the cracking, because this cracking is a very important limit state of serviceability. So as per the clause number 35.3.2, we'll get the detailed specifications. So let's discuss over it. The excessive cracking may result into following adverse effects. 1. It will spoil the appearance of the exposed surfaces. It creates leakage problems, that water may get leakage, and if the cracks are more, then the leakage will be more, and this leakage will further reduces the overall life of the structural components as well as non-structural components like the walls. Because if suppose the uh, water will percolate through the structural component, then it will reduce the strength and durability of that component. And if water percolates to the non-structural components like wall, then again it will reduce the strength of such kind of component, and again it will start formation of fungus and other things which will create non-hygienic conditions. Third is it leads to corrosion of steel, just as I mentioned also previously also, that through the cracks the moisture will get penetrate towards the concrete, and as that moisture reaches to the reinforcement, then the corrosion of reinforcement will start, because as we know that whenever that steel comes in contact with water or moisture, it starts rusting, because it is a normal process of oxidation of reinforcement, that is iron. So as a result of this rusting of steel, the effective cross-sectional area of steel which is available, or it should be available, that reduces over the time, and as a result of it there may be possibilities of failure of structure. So this is a very severe condition. Fourth is the reduction of stiffness of member. So if stiffness reduces, then the overall stability of structure will be reduces. It builds the fear of lack of safety, that if suppose the excessively cracked building, if you look towards that building, then automatically you will imagine that that building will not be safe for the use. So that is again one cause or one effect. So cracking of concrete should not adversely affect the appearance or the durability of structure. That is the point what we have to consider while going to discuss this point further. So this limit state, that is limit state of serviceability for cracking, is taken care of by specifying maximum permissible crack width for important structures in clause number 35.3.2 of IS 456/2000. While for the other structures, it is attended by adhering to the appropriate detailing rules, that by following the appropriate reinforcement detailing, we will be able to reduce the cracks, and these detailings are available in the special publications. The acceptable limits of cracking would vary with the type of structure and environment. So for the environmental conditions, the environmental exposure conditions have been specified in clause in IS 456. So just go through the environmental exposure conditions. They have given the different categories of environmental exposure conditions. So you have to go through that table of environmental exposure conditions, and you have to answer one question in the quiz. So for this environmental conditions, the for the different environmental conditions, different values of covers have been mentioned in the code also. But wherever it is required, that specific attention is to be provided to limit the design crack width to a particular value. So this crack width calculation may be done by using a formula which is given in Annexure F of IS 456-2000. So as per the specifications of clause number 35.3.2 of IS 456, which I can clearly see here, the surface width of crack should not in general exceed 0.3 mm in member where cracking is not harmful and does not have any serious adverse effects upon the prevention of reinforcing steel nor upon the durability of the structures. So for such kind of structures wherever the cracking is not much seriously affecting the stability of the structure, in that case the crack width should not exceed 0.3 mm. So remember this point, that for normal structures the maximum crack width which can be allowed is 0.3 mm. Beyond this, the crack width is not allowed. In members where the cracking in the tension zone is harmful, either because they are exposed to the effects of weather or continuously exposed to the moisture or in contact with soil or groundwater, an upper limit of 0.2 mm is suggested for maximum width of crack. Particularly this is applicable in case of structures which are used for the resisting of soil, just like retaining walls, or the structures like water tanks, or the structures which comes in directly contact with the soil. In such conditions, the maximum permissible crack width is 0.2 mm. For particularly aggressive environments such as severe category in table number 3, the assessed surface width of cracks should not in general exceed 0.1 mm. So for the structures which are exposed to the severe category of environmental exposure conditions, the maximum permissible crack width is 0.1 mm, beyond which you cannot provide such kind of structure which produces a crack of 0.1 mm. That crack width should be limited up to that value, or there should not be crack formation. Because what happens that the severe exposure conditions means just like that, suppose if you are going to construct some concrete structures for elements which will be used for the storage of acids or storage of such kind of chemical elements which may react with the concrete or which may react with the reinforcement very badly. So in such kind of cases there should not be crack formation, or if in any condition the crack forms, that the width of crack should not be beyond 0.1 mm. We'll consider the last limit state also. Last limit state is the other limit state. The other limit state is considered when the structures designed for unusual or special functions shall comply with any relevant additional limit state considered appropriate to that structure. Some of such states are listed below, that vibrations due to the earthquake, vibrations due to the use of mechanical equipments or machines or motors, etc. We have to consider such kind of situations in addition with the limit state of serviceability and limit state of collapse. Then the fire resistance, as we have already discussed, that the whatever buildings that we are going to design, those buildings should sustain the fires up to a certain time period. So that's why this fire resistance can be considered as an additional limit state. Chemical and environmental actions, again it should be considered as additional limit state, because Such kind of buildings we cannot construct normally, means it is a very special type of structure, so that's why we have to consider it as a other limit states. Accidental or catastrophic collapse. So accidental stresses or the constructional stresses or stresses which are going to develop during the erection or construction process, such kind of points or such kind of factors we have to consider as a other limit states. So we'll stop here for the now.